I used to believe in forever. I thought love was a promise that couldn't be broken, especially when it came from her lips. Emily had always been the kind of woman who could silence a storm with a smile, and when she whispered, "You're my forever, James," on the night of our engagement, I felt like the luckiest man alive. We were the couple everyone envied. Friends called us inseparable, and my parents adored her. Even my sister, Claire, who could be distant and reserved, seemed to warm up to Emily in a way she never had with anyone else. At the time, I thought it was a blessing. I had no idea it was the start of my undoing. It began with small things I didn't question at first. Emily and Claire laughing together in the kitchen for hours, their heads bent close like they shared secrets. Text messages that made Emily's phone buzz late at night, which she'd quickly silence with a smile and a vague, "Just Claire, nothing important." I trusted them both. Why wouldn't I? Emily was my fiancée, and Claire was my sister. Blood and love. Two pillars of my life. But trust can be the cruelest blindfold. One evening, after a long day at work, I came home earlier than usual. The house was quiet except for the faint sound of music drifting from the living room. At first, I thought nothing of it, until I heard laughter. A soft, breathless kind of laughter that didn't sound like the playful banter I knew. It sounded intimate. I crept closer, heart pounding without reason, until I reached the doorway. What I saw broke me. There they were, Emily and Claire, wrapped in each other's arms on the couch. Emily's hands tangled in Claire's hair, her lips pressed against my sister's with a kind of passion I thought was mine alone. For a moment, the world stopped. My body went cold, my breath caught in my throat. They didn't even notice me standing there, frozen in the doorway, watching the two people I loved most betray me in the cruelest way. When Emily finally pulled back and their eyes met mine, the room shattered. Claire gasped, her face draining of color. Emily's lips trembled, but she didn't move away from my sister. That silence, the three of us locked in a triangle of destruction, was worse than any scream. I wanted to shout. I wanted to demand answers, to break something, to shake them both until they realized what they'd done. But all I could manage was a whisper. "You swore you'd be my forever." Emily's eyes filled with tears, but her silence cut deeper than words. Claire finally stood, stammering something about it being a mistake, but her guilty eyes told the truth. It wasn't a mistake. It was something that had been building for months, maybe longer, right under my nose. I walked out before they could say more. My hands shook as I grabbed my keys, my chest heavy like I was carrying the wreckage of everything I'd ever believed in. That night, I drove aimlessly, past places Emily and I had once dreamed about, past the park where I'd planned to marry her, past the streets where forever used to feel real. The next few days were a blur. Emily called, Claire texted, both begging to explain, to talk, to somehow soften the blow of what I'd seen. But what explanation could ever erase that image? What words could ever make me forget the sound of their laughter turning into betrayal? Eventually, Emily showed up at my door. She looked broken, eyes red, lips trembling. She said she loved me, but she loved Claire too. She said it wasn't planned, that it just happened, that she never wanted to hurt me. Hearing those words was like twisting the knife deeper. She had promised me forever, and now she stood there confessing she couldn't even give me today. Claire came the next day, crying, apologizing, saying she never meant for it to happen. She told me Emily was the first person who had ever truly seen her, that she hadn't planned to fall in love but couldn't stop it. My own sister, the person who was supposed to protect me from the world, had become the one who destroyed me. I realized then that betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes, it comes from the people you die for. I cut them both out of my life. It wasn't easy. Family dinners turned into cold silences, mutual friends didn't know what to say, and every corner of the city felt haunted by memories of Emily's smile. But I knew I couldn't hold on to people who had torn my soul apart. I deserved better than being someone's second choice, better than watching my fiancée and sister live the love story that was supposed to be mine. Months later, I still hear her words sometimes. "You're my forever." They echo in my mind late at night, when the loneliness creeps in. But forever is just a word, and words are fragile when they're not backed by loyalty. Emily and Claire stayed together, or so I heard. I don't follow their lives anymore. To me, they're ghosts, reminders of a betrayal that nearly broke me but also taught me the hardest truth of all. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who can shatter you completely. And yet, as painful as it was, I've learned to rebuild. Forever doesn't come from someone else's promise. It comes from the strength you find after surviving the kind of heartbreak you thought would end you. Emily swore she'd be my forever. Instead, she became the lesson I'll never forget.